that's where we find ourselves today. Everybody's seeking validation in the ministry. And if you look at it, did Christ really sought for validation the way you see emergency apostle, emergency prophet seeking for validation up and down? They didn't. Christ did not. So, looking at it, you check everywhere, you look at everybody's looking for validation. Validation here and there. And we just have to look at the truth. We must face the truth, because if you don't face the truth, you will find yourself joining them. Because validation in the ministry is so serious that they had to ask John the Baptist that, who are you? Are you Christ, or who are you? He said, I am not. That I am the voice of him that was crying in the wilderness. He said, I am not that light, but I was sent to witness that light. So it's just saddening that the quest for validation has overwhelmed the ministers of today. That's even if they were called in the first place. The quest for validation has overwhelmed them. They've left the work they were called to. They are looking for validation up and down. And there's no difference between the old prophet and the young prophet. Because the young prophet is also seeking validation from the old prophet. And then who is now going to make that change? Who is going to make that change when there's no difference? Look at the story of the old prophet and the young prophet in the Bible. God told the young prophet that you should not eat or drink or try to branch anywhere where you are going. Just go and deliver the message and return back home. The guy went. Unknowingly to him, there's an old prophet in that city. God knew there was an old prophet in that city. Because when you read the story to the end, you know why God had told him that he should not branch anywhere, not eat or do anything. God was trying to preserve him. Don't be corrupted by the system. The system is corrupted. You are a young prophet. Don't be corrupted by the system. I'm trying to raise a new breed. But here we are. You see that the old prophet met him where he was resting under the tree. And if he had followed the instruction that God gave him, the old prophet would not have, he would not have met him over there. And that is a sad matter that the old prophet told him that, oh, I'm also a prophet like you. So you are a prophet, and God still sent me to that same city that you live, and you are saying that you are a prophet. That means truly he used to be a prophet, but now he's corrupted. God was done with him, was raising a new breed. And so God said you should come and eat and drink. But God told the young prophet that you should not eat and drink. This old prophet saying that God told him that you should eat and drink. That I'm also a prophet too, not knowing that he was lying to him, trying to pollute and corrupt the young prophet. And that's what we are saying. If this young prophet did not have this little quest for validation, because the man said, I'm also a prophet like you, and then he looked at him as he's an elderly man. Let me follow him too. Don't let me do like let me follow him. It's the same thing that is happening now in this generation. The same thing. Because God is calling them afresh, giving them fresh messages, fresh auction. But because it does not tally, it does not go well with the whole prophet. They see it as, are we not disrespecting the fathers? Are we not disrespecting the people that we met there? Are we not disrespecting them? But that's not the point here. This is not about a matter of disrespect. This is ministry. And it's personal. We don't bring sentiment into ministry. And now, because of the quest of validation that, if I don't apply wisdom, in quotes, I won't have validation. That's where we meet ourselves today. Validation up and down. Validation up and down. And it is really terrible. It's really terrible. And that's what you need to look at. Maybe you are a young minister, you are watching me. Or you are called into the music ministry. Don't seek for validation. Let Jesus validate you. Because if you look at John chapter 2, after Jesus Christ performed the miracle at that wedding, in John chapter 2, you see, towards that end of the verse, he said Jesus knew what was in man and did not need any man to approve of him. He didn't. Knew a man. The Pharisees and the Sadducees were behaving in a way that they wanted Jesus Christ to come. They wanted Jesus to come to them and say, oh, and try to respect them. And oh, you are the one that were here before I came. But Jesus knew that we have a different ministry. They belong to the old. It stands for the new. So imagine Jesus Christ was seeking validation from the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And you know that the Pharisees and Sadducees would not want Jesus to die on the cross. They did not agree with his message. Imagine he was seeking for validation. So I'm saying that in the quest of validation today, people have lost the message, they have lost the unction, they have lost the mantle. It is not just fame, crowd here and there, but the message is gone. The auction is gone. Seeking for validation from mortals will ruin your ministry. Seeking for validation as if they were the one that called you into the ministry. Let the one who called you into his work validate you. In the book of John, this same John, you see that when he baptized Jesus Christ, he said there was a voice from heaven saying that this is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear him. How many people heard that voice? Maybe just 2 people. John the Baptist and Jesus. Simple. All the people that were there too, they were trying to baptize, they didn't hear. See the validation. The second time validation came from heaven on the Mount of Transfiguration. How many people were there? Peter, James, and John. Or that the chief priest, all of those people did not hear. Validation. So this is what is going on right now that we need to look at. Stop running for validation up and down. Remain with whom the one that has called you. Remain with him. Not running up for validation up and down because of popularity, because of fame. Oh, I know that. And so in the name of collaboration today, they try to collaborate, try to feature. So everybody you can feature with. You can't collaborate with everybody. Because if the system is not faulty, why did God call you? That's the point, that because people fail to realize why they were called. Why were you sent? With what message? Because if you do not know why you were called, you don't know the message, and you see that the message you were given is to correct certain things. Now you also become part of the error. You join in the pollution. You have lost your ministry. All in the name of validation, people get polluted. People get defiled. Daniel said that I'm not going to defile myself with this big portions of the meat and wine. Just be giving us beans and water for 7 days. See if there will not be change. The reason is because I don't want to defile myself and pollute myself with the king's portion. This is an idolatrous king. He's worshipping idols. God sent me here for a purpose. I won't allow the king's meat and wine to defile me. If it defiles me, then how will I even? So imagine Daniel and his friends are eating king's meat. So when they came and said, Daniel, don't pray. It will be easy. You will not pray. Mention Shadrach and Abednego, bow down to that God. It will be so easy. You just have to join them. How would they have all the? But I'm surprised that despite the fact that Daniel, Shadrach, and Abednego did not seek for validation, they dared to be different. God still exalted them. Instead of them to be polluted and corrupted, the king later had a change of mind, served their own God. I thought they were supposed to apply wisdom, at least to be able to eat and dine with the king. That's what is going on. You are sent into that system to correct the error and the pollution, not to become part of the corruption and the pollution. Why? Because If you seek for validation, then you'll be corrupted and be polluted also. Very simple. Very, very, very simple. Very simple. So Daniel dared to be different. It was so easy. It was so easy. They were not looking for validation. I don't care if you are offended, you this king. I don't care. We are not going to bow down to this. We are not going to bow down. I don't care if you increase the fire 7 times. The king thought if he increased the fire 7 times, they would quickly change their mind that, we don't care. We are not looking for validation here from you. He said, I am not able to answer you because I'm not even looking for anything from you. But today, the so-called young ministers, they are careful of where they are sent to. They are careful of not offending people because of what they will gain from them. Instead of them to rely on the one that has called them to give them that validation. But when validation came for Daniel, when it came for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, look at what happened. The king removed the chain on his neck. After he interpreted that dream, gave it to Daniel. He promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Imagine how that promotion came after a successful, defense of faith. After a successful defense of faith, see how they were promoted. Do not be corrupted by the pollution that we see. You, these young ministers, you are singing, you are going over there, but you are looking for validation up and down. In the name of validation, you will lose the message. You will lose the ministry, and you will lose the mantle. The mantle comes first. The message. Ministry is in three dimensions. Before you can say you have a ministry, there's a message. There's a mantle. When there's no message, there's no mantle. So what are you going to be saying? You just join the crowd, just join them, and then you become part of the pollution again. And God will still be saying, I'm looking for a man to send. I looked everywhere, I did not find anyone to send. Why is God saying that? Because the one he sent had failed him. They have failed him. They become part of the pollution. They have failed him. If you look at the proverb, the parable that Jesus Christ gave, that one king sent his servant, they killed him. He sent another one, they killed him. Then he now sent his son again. They become part of the pollution and corruption system because of validation. Come out from the crowd seeking for validation and let God validate you. Let God. But this is where we are today. This generation, the same thing keeps repeating itself. The same thing we keep seeing. The same message of religion, the same message of the same thing repeating itself. Why? Because everybody is looking for validation. You are talking about you are condemning the politicians. Even you, where God has sent you to stand up for Him. What are you doing there? It is easy to condemn the politicians. Why you are also not different from them? Because instead of you to change the system, you become part of them. Because why? You are looking for validation, and you become polluted. You become corrupted. That's where we are today. That's where we are today. Jesus Christ said, I'm not going to join it myself here today. John the Baptist did not, because of validation, said I am He, I am the light. He didn't say that. Some people, because of validation, they are preaching rubbish on the internet so that you can have crowd and all of those things. This is Ministry 101. And God has sent me to talk to you about the validation. I will see you again in the next episode.